how can we believe in that when we are experiencing so many obstacles here in this 3D world we were thrown into?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that if you take a higher perspective, if you look at things from an eagle's eye point of view, and you separate yourself, take yourself out and just look at all the pieces of the puzzle that are out in front of you, you'll see things differently. And if we look back, reflect back on our life, and we see the circumstances of the way things happen to bring us to this place where we are, how did that happen? And even some of the worst case scenarios, some of the worst things that have happened to us, good things have come out of it. And seeing that there is a higher perspective, we may not understand it in this moment, we may not comprehend why, but once we have that belief that everything is happening for a reason, and everything is happening in our favor, the universe is always working in our favor. If we really believe that to our core, that even when negative things happen, we see the positive or the good out of it and have a positive perspective of what's going on.
Yeah, that's really the important part of it, to be able to, when you have done that step back, then know that you are the creator of your reality with the tool of your focus, and you can direct your focus on what you want to see. You want to see the negative or the positive things.
Absolutely.
And that's really
so true.
It's really the basic shift. In my opinion, it's really the basic shift we can make on this in this life on this planet here, to realize that we are the creators of our reality.
Absolutely. We are creating all of it. And if we don't like our life, or we don't like something about our life, we can also uncreate the reality that we have created. If you don't like the reality you're living, then you can uncreate it and create a different reality.
Exactly. And you are not the victim, but you are the creator, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's not a matter of circumstance. It's not because my parents did this or my girlfriend did that or blah, blah, blah. We are more empowered than we realize. And if more of us wake up and realize how powerful we are, we could shift the whole planet.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And to come back to the dolphins, for me, the dolphins always have energy of playfulness, bringing with them, and joy, and that was one of my inner feelings and inner knowings I always had, was that what I just said, I came here, we all came here to experience the paradise on earth here, and to bring a heavenly experience to this 3D earth experience, and the second knowing I always had was that can easily be done when we follow the path of joy, of our joy. And what can we learn concerning this topic from the dolphins?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that part of being down here and part of being a human in a body is that we have freedom of choice.
Yes.
That was part of the gift that we were given.
Yes.
And we're not told what to do or how to do it or how things are to show up. We have that choice. So we have the choice of choosing pain and suffering and learning lessons that way, or we have the choice of choosing joy and happiness and love and play.
Yeah, that's really an important part, because that's most of the people, I think, don't think that they are in charge,
right,
and that they choose their experience. That's
And kind of like you said, something about the German philosophy around money is that if you don't work hard for it, then you're a swindler, or it's not legitimately earned. if you get it too easily, you know,
Oh yeah.
if money comes to you too easily.
Oh,
And so that's a belief system that, you know, that's not, I mean, if you believe it, you make it your reality, but
yeah.
it doesn't have to be that reality.
Yeah.
And you could easily, you know, manifest money. You can manifest anything you want. And it's like nothing is too big or too small. You can't, you know, maybe you think, oh, I'm greedy because I want $10 million or $100 million or $1 trillion. You know, it's like, there's no limit. There's no, you know, is that what you want? Sure, no problem, you know. And it's not like there's not enough to go around. Just like air, we're breathing air. We don't think about, oh, I'm going to run out, or I better not take too many heavy breaths because then you won't have enough air.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you know, we don't even think about that because air is just accepted to be abundant and everywhere, and so everything can be exactly the same. That's like part of our God-given right for being down here and being in a body on a planet is to have everything provided for us: food, water, shelter, air, money, relationships, whatever we desire. Because it where does that desire come from? Where do those thoughts come from? You know, it's like it's connecting to a higher power. So our experiences are also expanding the universe's experiences.
Wow. Yeah. And that's what you just said is really important. Our desires, you just said, are kind of messengers for us from the universe, or could you?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain. Like when you have a thought, it's like, to me, if you have a thought, then if you have a desire for something, then it's possible to have it. Like, why would you have that desire? If it was an impossible thing, like you could never have it, why do you have this desire to have this
Exactly.
thing? Why would that come into your consciousness?
Yeah.
So if you have a desire for something, then yes, it's possible for you to have it. And where does that desire come from? Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's a very philosophical question. Like, what came first, the chicken and the egg? You know, like, was it my desire that started, or was it the universe speaking to me? I don't know exactly, but I do know that if you have a desire just for something, then it is definitely within your reach to have it, within your grasp. You can possess it. Whatever that desire is, no matter how big or how small. There was a woman on Tony Robbins' program that was wanting to win a triathlon.
Mm-hmm.
She had this idea she wanted to be the best female triathlon in the world, but she didn't even know how to swim.
Okay.
And triathlon, you know, there's running, swimming, and biking.
Yeah.
And so she had to learn how to swim first, and it turns out, it took her many years, and she became the best female triathlon for 2 years. She was so it's like anything is attainable, anything is possible. You put your mind and your focused attention into it. It's important to also focus your intention.
Yeah, exactly, and to take your inner feelings and desires seriously and not just wipe them away and say, no, that's not, I'm not worth it, or it's not possible anyway, or it's really,
it's selfish, or
but
it's
go
whatever.
for it. And and
Absolutely.
and then one could say, okay, sure, it's also in many American people, I think, still this way of thinking. Sure, you can have everything. That was what's different here in the USA. In Germany, they would even say, no, of course you cannot have anything. So that's okay. That's the first step. But even in Americans, then there is often the second part of that sentence saying, you can have everything. You just have to work hard for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel sometimes, even if they make the step further here in the USA to say, of course, everything is possible, then they have that belief pattern, but it has to be hard.
Right. You have to sacrifice and suffer And that's where the dolphins
Yeah, and
really
that's
came
really
came
interesting.
into my life, because they
Yeah.
showed me that you can get more, you can accomplish more through play, through joy, through the heart chakra, through love,
Oh yeah.
and trust,
Mhm.
like I did in the ocean. Trust, when you let go and trust, then the universe opens up for you, and bigger than you even imagined. Like even this center, I only wanted to rent a little room to do my Reiki, and I was looking around Kaua'i. There's
The
our
rooster.
rooster. You're confirming, thank you. And um, I couldn't find, and I found a little place, but the rent on that place was crazy, astronomical.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd have to do like 100 Reiki sessions a day, practically, to make that work. So I just expanded, I just surrendered and let go. And then this house came for sale. And the mortgage on the house wasn't much more than the rent was going to be, and we could own it. So it just made total sense. Like, if you're going to pay rent, you might as well own it, right? Yeah. And it expanded even my belief of what was possible, because I wasn't even thinking about a whole building or a whole center. I was thinking of a little room. I just wanted a little place to do my Reiki, and the universe is like, no, it's just. Yeah. So if you surrender and let go, it's even more than your.
And the universe says you have to have this wonderful place here, not just a little room, but this here. Maybe we can just show around once. Here is this nice little house and center, Dolphintouch Wellnesscenter. Yeah, and you just said one really important thing. Joy and the heart chakra is what enables us to manifest much easier and quicker, right?
Right.
Than trying so hard.
Right.
Could you just go on that a little bit?
Well,
what is the power of joy and power of love in these realms, in these concerns?
Yeah, sure. Well, like when you're working hard, it's very mental.
Yeah.
You're very much in your head.
Yeah.
And that you're not using your heart chakra. When you use your heart chakra, like there's this infinite energy, and heart math and a lot of different, you can actually measure that field, and it's a huge field that is expanded when your heart is open. And when your heart is open, you're able to grasp solutions to problems and answers to questions that if you're just trying to mentally obtain, you're limited. But when you go into your heart chakra, you have like, you're opening yourself up more to other solutions without having to work hard and 20 hours a day to get there. You come up with ingenuity and inventive ways to solve the same problems in a more joyful, playful way.
Yeah. And I guess the first step to get there is to accept that hard way or light way or joyful way, loving way and playful way is possible, and the other way, the hard way, is possible also, but they are equal. They are you can choose either of them.
Right.
And
you have the right to choose. I mean, you want to suffer and work hard and do all that, fine. That's what floats your boat, and that's what makes you happy. You can, but you can also choose another way.
Yeah. And what do we need to really stay on that path confidently? Because I often say some similar things to people, like you just said, and many of them say, "Wow, yeah, that's a nice way to see the world," but many of them also feel like a little bit, I'm very hard to them to just say, "Well, you chose this," or you can choose to suffer, because when they are suffering, they say, "Of course, I did not choose that.
Right.
Come on."
Most people will say that.
So what? How can we really experience our freedom to choose and to?
Yeah, I would say that build on small successes.
Oh yeah.
You know, I taught at Island School here. I taught mathematics, 6th grade through 12th grade, college level, and you know, I had kids from all different ranges, and a lot of people had a fear of math because of their family or their history. Everyone. A lot of people had phobias around it. And the way to break those phobias was small successes.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Little quizzes or little tests like, oh, see, yes, you can learn this, you can learn that. You break it down into smaller chunks. So if people start seeing small successes, you know, you don't have to like, okay, I want to move to America. That's like kind of a big jump. But maybe you have a small thing, a small intention, like, oh, I'd really like to eat chocolate today. I wish someone would bring me chocolate, or chocolate would show up in my life. And then later on in the day, someone's like, oh, here, I have this extra piece of chocolate. Would you like some? And then they're like, wait a minute, wow, I just manifested a piece of chocolate. Yeah. And I didn't even try to do it. You know, I didn't have to work for it. I didn't have to go and buy it. Someone just brought it to me, like randomly. Wow. And it's like when you have those small successes, then it's like, okay, what else is possible? What else can I ask the universe for and receive? And then, you know, you'll start feeling more confident, and that confidence grows. It's all about having more confidence in yourself and in your belief systems, and then you're able to start shifting others.
Yeah. So challenge the universe in small tasks, in small ways, and celebrate every success.
Yes, and acknowledge that you put that intention that you wanted something to happen, and it did.
Oh yeah.
And that shows you just how powerful you are.
Oh, there's a cat joining us.
A little magic.
Yeah, and to confirm that and explain that a little bit more, in one of our sessions, you told me that wonderful story of God breaking himself up in different pieces. Would you just be so lovely to share that with us? It's such a beautiful story.
Oh yeah, I think sure. It's called The Fallen. It's in the book The Fallen, and it's like, so God created this. You know, the beliefs. The theory goes that God created this world. Yeah. And well, God created this world because he wanted to experience more himself. So he couldn't be everywhere. So he broke off pieces of himself, little pieces of like essences of himself, to have different experiences. And then he would be in turn having all these experiences. And so it broke down into angels, and angels broke down into humans, and like, you know, so we're like fallen angels, really, not fallen like in devil, fallen angel, but fallen angel like we fell from heaven, and when we fell, we lost memory of who we were, the true essence of who we are. And so basically we are all a piece of God. We're all the essence of God. We're all sparks from the same one. Yeah. Yes. And having a different experience, but every experience is contributing to everyone else's experiences, to the overall experience. And that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And when we remember that all the time, that we are pieces of God, and angels, fallen angels in some kind, in some way, then we really have the basic or the base to accept our abilities, which go with that, which come with that, with that state of being, a God, piece of God.
Yeah, an infinite source.
Yeah.
infinite beings that can control and work with reality, and can control and work with energy, and can manipulate energy for good or for bad. You know?
Yeah, definitely. And in my experience, a really powerful tool to experience our abilities, our godlike inner core, is always to connect with the beauty around me, and to connect with what lets my heart make a jump, you know.
Yes.
And
nature.
nature, for example, and animals. In my case, I love all kinds of animals, and so would that be, in your opinion, a easy way in the daily life to start off with, to have a focus on beauty, for example? Or?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, so many of us are focused on the destination.
Okay, yeah.
And instead of focused on the destination, and you're missing the journey that gets you to that destination.
Mm-hmm.
And that journey may be a beautiful ride in the countryside, and you don't even notice the river trickling down next to the road, or you don't notice the squirrel in the tree, or the nature that's all around you, because you're so focused on the destination, the end result. But life is a journey, and that journey is part of life, and we're missing that if we're not stopping, pay attention, and smell the roses. That expression is like, pay attention and notice the beauty that's all around you. No matter where you are. Of course, we're in Kaua'i, so there's a lot more beauty here on a daily basis. But wherever you go, you know, every place in Germany, there's some beautiful, beautiful places.
Yeah, and so that would be one useful technique to always in our daily life stop and remember who we really are and what we can achieve to see ourselves in the beauty around us, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you see beauty, it's beauty being reflected back to you.
Yes.
It's that reflection. So the more you see the beauty in nature, the more you'll be reflected back to the beauty that is you, that is who you are.
Yeah.
And the same as the more you're accepting of others, the more you're forgiving of others, the more you're compassionate to others, the more you are compassionate, accepting, and forgiving of yourself.
Yeah. So you said when we had our sessions together, you said always ask yourself, does it feel light, or does it feel heavy?
Yeah.
So maybe that's another cool tool to always remember to ask this question from time to time. The path I am on now, how does it feel to me? And therefore it's important, I think, to really be connected to our inner realms and to our inner world. Very good. So do you have some tips for us how we can train that, really trust our feelings more, and trust our, first of all, trust our, or be aware of our feelings and of if something feels light or heavy, and then in the second step to really go for that path then which feels lighter. What would be some tips for that?
Well, I mean, that's going to take practice.
Yeah.
And it's like working out at the gym. It's like a muscle you're developing,
Yeah.
right? I would start small, and I would, like, you look at a menu or you look at your refrigerator and you're trying to decide what to eat, and you're like, well, what feels heavier and what feels lighter, and really, instead of just automatically grabbing the same thing every time or ordering the same thing on the menu every time, it's like go with a fresh set of eyes and just feel into your body and feel, okay, this is, maybe at one time it felt good, but does this feel good right now in this moment to eat this or to digest this food, or is something else a better choice for me?
Yeah. So train it in the small decisions.
Small decisions.
And
Right.
that's good.
I'm gonna have to look at
Really nice. So yeah, I think we have a lot of interesting and really helpful insights already here.
it. Yeah.
So just maybe we have a concluding sentence. Of course, everybody should come to Kaua'i. That's, in my opinion,
Definitely, absolutely. Everybody should come to Kaua'i. No, not all at the same time.
No, not
Not gonna be
everybody
able
at
to
the same
handle
time.
that.
But even if we are not in Kaua'i, we can really start in each moment, right, to create our paradise
Yes.
where we are, right?
Yes. Everyone can have their Kaua'i wherever they are right now. See the beauty that's all around you. Connect with nature. Connect with your heart. Connect with the people you love. Surround yourself with positive people.
Oh yeah, that's also really important.
So important. If people are in your life and they're not raising your vibration or helping you out or making you feel good, then time to move on and let those people go.
Yeah.
And really connect with people that are like-minded and maybe on their spiritual path. Would be nice. And we'd love to have you come to Kaua'i.
Yeah.
Come visit us out here, and it's like you're in the fifth dimension here. The veils are lifted. It's very easy to connect with your higher self and open up your intuition and have an amazing experience. And even though everybody cannot live in Kaua'i, you take that experience that you experience here back home with you, and you're recreating that reality wherever you are.
Yeah, it's a place where we can easily remember our abilities and our true essence.
Yes.
Yeah, and when you come to Kaua'i, visit Dolphintouch Wellnesscenter and G.
Yes.
And let yourself be elevated by the dolphin energy.
Yes.
So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Nice little insights. And in
been
this paradise
awesome.
here.
Yeah, with the roosters.
With the rooster, yeah.
They're
It was a
adding
pleasure.
their comments. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nice to meet you all.
And have a great
thank you,
day
Crystal.
wherever you are. Thank you
And
so
you're
much.
wearing
Yeah, and that's, I can show that. I got that from you, and it's really always my remembrance of playfulness and the dolphin's way, and always encourages me to go the way that feels light, that feels playful, that feels joyful. Yeah. And I'm really glad for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha, namaste.